He talks about authority. People will defer to those in authority, officials, professors, doctors, and experts in the field. And when you become an authority, here's an example. If you and I were to give a presentation, we would have an automatic in your business. Let's say you give a presentation about being a business broker. People would already accept you as an authority. But here's what's interesting. They did a study one time where they took people who talked about a topic, and then they found out how people responded to them as the area of influence. They then had this person give the same talk to someone else in a doctor's coat, and they responded 30% more. Just because of the doctor's coat there. He already was a position of authority, and they already were bought into what they say.
Right.
And we see this all the time. We go in the doctor's office, no matter how smart we are, no matter how brilliant we are, whatever they say, we're hanging on their every word.
Right.
Now, this becomes important because how the doctor says something to you, and I'm using a doctor for this one, you're going to believe it non-critically.
Right.
And that can become a challenge. In reverse, if I'm the expert in business brokerage,
right,
people are already willing to buy into what I say.
That's really important in my industry. I have to make sure people clearly define me as credible from the beginning.
Yes.
Or I'm working constantly just for them to accept a statement that I'm making, and so it's a pretty big deal in our business.
Well, here's another way. If I go to I'll use a doctor analogy. If my knee's hurting and I go to my general doctor, my medical doctor, obviously a talented guy, educated, smart, he may look at my knee, but he may not be able to help me out. He may refer me out to a specialist. Now, the specialist, I'll probably pay more money, but he knows more. His authority has already overstepped the doctor in a way that's even more powerful. So when we're looking at branding and we become the authority in what we do, people are more willing to listen to us. We have more of an obligation. How it works in business is people will pay us more.
Yeah, I just got a text. Somebody said, "Yeah, Joe, that's why you need to start wearing a tie."
if
I haven't worn a tie in 30 years.
Right. Well, here's the other thing, too. When I look at my clients, I look at them all as authorities, because they have to realize they are role models in the area. So if I'm working with an athlete or a business leader, it's not just them as a business leader. What they have to realize is they're influencing themselves, but more directly, unconsciously and consciously, they're influencing everyone else. So they're going to automatically show up at a higher level. They're going to vibrate at a different level. People are going to walk out going, oh, I like what they have. I may not understand it, but I like the rhythm. I like what's going on. And
right,
boy, I'm going to buy into what they do. And they're going to talk about you and become a raving fan. So authority is a huge one.
Interesting.
So
you got another bullet point for me?
I do. Social proof. People pay attention to what other people are doing, both consciously and unconsciously.
I hope they're not listening to me when I'm with Harold. That wouldn't work out well for me.
Well, here's what I mean. So they in the study that they talk about here is that people will choose a crowded restaurant over an empty one typically.
Yeah.
And the reason is if they're in a new area, a new territory, they're going to look for everyone else to see what everyone else is doing. It's sort of, they did a study where they had in a crowded New York street where they had one person start looking up, and then other people started looking up. And since everyone's looking up, looking for something, everyone's looking up. They have no idea why, but that's what everyone's doing.
Right.
Or we see it in lines. I have seen it where a door is open, no one's going there because everyone else is in this line, or they follow this trail, this pattern.
I'll tell you a story. I used to open up restaurants, franchises, and that was one of the secrets that I used to have. Because normally you would tell the employees park in the back, right?
Yes.
So I would, and when things are a little slow, I'd say, okay, everybody take your cars and park them up front.
Right.
Right? Because nobody wants to drive into an empty parking lot for a restaurant, right?
And that's true, because if we see it full, then, well, it must be something going on.
Listen, it used to be a joke, because when I'd have them do that, I would have them hurry up and get back to the restaurant, because as cars are moving in the parking lot, people are now starting to pull into the parking lot, so they have to hurry up and get there.
Right.
I thought I was a genius. See, I thought I was making this stuff up, you understand?
You obviously did what was unconsciously natural. Everyone loves it. When we go, well, imagine if I went to a store or a store area and only saw a few cars there, I'd think that everything was closed. But if I see a lot of cars, there's something going on. It's the same thing with a concert, or they do this with clubs where they have a huge line of people sitting outside that door where everyone can see them. Why would they do that? Because they know that people, that's the place to be.
Right.
Apparently, there's a reason I need to be there, and I've got to be a part of this, and I'll wait 2 or 3, 4 hours, whatever it is, to make sure I get in there. And social proof is powerful.